the national championships are held each year, and they move around between various states. I started vaulting when I was 12, so that was quite a few years ago now, and the first national championships that I went to was back in 1992. I think that might have been the first national championships Australia had, and that was held also in Sydney. That venue is now all under houses here, so the championships here are being held over 4 days, so which is great, and then also being combined with an international competition called a CVI. I started vaulting when I was 12, and I came through the horse riding side of things. We'd had an instructor that had done some vaulting with the mounted police, and so we initially started doing a little bit with her. We then had another gentleman who turned up through, and he'd done vaulting through Pony Club, and he was interested in starting a team. That was back in 91, 92, and he took just a few months to get us ready to go to the national championships back then, and that was the start of vaulting for me, and I sort of became addicted very quickly to it. There's a lot of aspects to it that challenge you physically, artistically, performance-wise, and of course the horse aspect to it, which I think a lot of sports don't have that capacity. And I first competed internationally in 1996, and that was at the World Championships in Kaposvár in Hungary. I then continued to compete almost every year after that for 10 years, and took part in championships almost all the years except for 1997, and was ranked 6th in the world twice. I competed at 3 World Equestrian Games as a vaulter, and I've competed at World Equestrian Games as a lunger as well.
Wow.
I think I see you everywhere.
I think there's a really great artistic aspect to vaulting, which a lot of the other disciplines, I'm also a level 1 general coach, so I also ride and have done that side of horse sports as well. Vaulting really offers that more of the artistic showmanship type performance, which I think for spectators is really easy to understand. It's very easy for them to come in and see a routine and say, wow, that was really cool, or oh, that wasn't so good. Whereas I think some of the other disciplines, that it takes a lot more understanding of horses and movement to actually really appreciate the difficulty that's involved in the performances. I think as a equestrian discipline, it has a lot to offer the future of equestrian sports, because one person doesn't have to have their own horse. You have the capability to share horses, and that's with multiple individuals on the same horse, but also with team and pas de deux, which means that then you get to actually enjoy the experience shared with another team member also on the same horse with you. Australia has a challenge that when you travel internationally, taking horses is really difficult. So most vaulters, when they travel internationally, have to work to find networks where they've got horses that they can use and readjust to a horse, reacclimatise to a horse, which can take some time, and it also can mean that you have to completely adjust the routine that you do. So some horses will tolerate things well on the neck, some horses won't tolerate anything on the croup, so you kind of often your freestyle and the shape of the horse are really sort of grown together, and when you swap that onto different horses, it does take a lot of adjustment time. The standard in Australia has really improved in the last few years, and I think we can consistently see that vaulters have better performances, our horses are going better, both in the junior division and in the senior division. There's definitely some great potential that we have, and it's a matter of how we foster those people to support them through the challenges of travelling and competing internationally.